We've done a lot of soft tissue work with her.
That's been probably the most life-changing thing.
You hear that? Life-changing. So if you've never been to a chiropractor before,
go to this one.
or any chiropractor for that matter, if you've never been, you don't know what you're missing. Dr. Dave here with Synergy Wellness, Chiropractic and Physical Therapy in New York City. Today we have Jade, an actress, a yoga instructor, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So what brought you in to CEAS?
Just
tell everybody.
Lots of pain from years of stretching the wrong way. I have a dance background and doing a lot of the same repetitive movements that over time weakened certain parts and just kind of just pulled me apart in the wrong way, until one day finally I just kind of broke and woke up and just had a really bad pinched nerve and was immobile for like a month and in the most grueling pain of my life. And yeah, I've been working on mainly that area since, but there's so much of my body that kind of needed a lot of work. So
yeah, and I could check here what visit we're on. We've been seeing her for a couple weeks now. So let's have you start lay on your stomach, okay? What's really effective for her is cox flexion distraction technique mixed with side posture, you know, that audible crack that people love to hear. But also ART is effective for her in trigger point therapy, which is what we've done a lot of soft tissue work with her.
That's been probably the most life-changing thing.
You hear that? Life-changing. So if you've never been to a chiropractor before,
go to this one.
or any chiropractor for that matter, if you've never been, you don't know what you're missing. So this leg is short by about 1/4 of an inch, her left leg. That tells me a lot about what's going on with her pelvis, and sure enough, I can see here that it's dropped down on this left side, down and back a little bit. But her biggest issue is really her upper back and her neck. Wouldn't you say?
Yes.
So I like to use, this is a Cox 8 table. It bends in all different directions. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna loosen up this little dial right here, and you can see how the headpiece tilts side to side. We're gonna use that and do a version of ART. Typically with ART, we have people actively shifting their head side to side, which we've done with her as well. But here, we're gonna do assisted. Good. So this is assisted reflex technique. Okay. And we're just stretching out that levator scapula right now. And my fingers are strong, so let me know if it's too much, okay? Just say mercy, okay?
It's so much less tender than the first time we did this, just like 3 weeks ago. It's crazy.
Yeah, I'd say 2-3 weeks ago when I was doing this, she was sort of jumping off the table, cursing.
Yep.
Trust me, she had a sailor's mouth 2-3 weeks ago. It was much more sensitive. And I'm getting in there pretty good right now.
Yeah, I can feel it.
And now we're getting into the supraspinatus muscle. So I just released her levator scapula, and now the supraspinatus. You've got your trapezius in here, your rhomboids, a lot of different muscles. Feel that knot right there. Basically stripping down and elongating that muscle there.
Yes, it does.
Right there. Deep breath in.
exactly the place I can't get to with the lacrosse ball.
It is a hard spot to get to with a lacrosse ball.
It was right on top of my shoulder.
There is a trick to it, and I'll show you today. Okay?
Yeah.
Just takes a little bit of flexibility, which you absolutely have, so it shouldn't be a problem for you. If I can do it, you can do it. Having these muscles tight can also create other problems with the clavicle and the shoulder if not addressed, or if it becomes chronic. And that's what we call double crush injuries. So if you have an old neck injury that wasn't healed or corrected, it never healed properly, or you never had any therapy or anything done for the neck injury, then eventually it starts affecting your shoulder and then even down to the elbow and wrist. Now, it's not an uncomfortable pain, it's a sort of a therapeutic type of pain.
Oh yeah, it hurts so good.
Exactly.
I'm a noise maker.
No pain, no gain, right?
Exactly. No, it's a good, tender feeling. Oh.
I like to call it a therapeutic pain, but yeah, I mean, unless you've had trigger point therapy done or myofascial release done before, you really don't know what it feels like.
I have a friend who used to do acupressure on me years ago, and that was incredible. It reminds me a lot of this.
This is different though than acupressure because it's assisted reflex.
Yeah. He would press into the fronts of my shoulders as well.
Excuse me, assisted release technique. But
the most tender spot here is like right on the end of my shoulder. When you get to like the end here.
Out here.
Yeah. And weirdly, this is the side without the injury, but it's more sore always.
And the other side?
It's always the more tender side. I think it's just because it's my right hand. It's the hand I use more the arm I write with, and I do a lot of writing. And I think that especially the past 6 months with my pinched nerve, I've just really overused the right side.
Do you write with a pencil or
a pen? I write with a very smooth, glidey, like gel pen because it takes least amount of force.
And then also on the computer, your right hand's on the mouse?
Yeah. And my right hand uses my phone, I guess, more. I try really hard to switch my hands, even brush my teeth with every other hand, like every day. It's like something I've done for years. In acting training, they taught us to do that to, just to become more aware of our bodies, because awareness is key when you're an actor and a mover.
Not to become ambidextrous, though.
Oh no, I'm just super interested in becoming ambidextrous anyway. I've kind of stopped doing it, but I used to practice writing with my left hand.
I write with my left hand.
But I consciously try to switch my hands when I think of it. I try to do it, like to eat with my left hand, or just to use both sides evenly. Through yoga, it taught me that as well, especially leg balancing, because my right foot is dominant.
I'm a lefty, and I've tried to write righty, and I could barely write lefty, let alone righty. Most doctors have awful handwriting anyway, but if I tried writing righty, it's just chicken scratch.
No more on the side?
No, we're gonna do something else here. I want you to take a deep breath in, blow out. Good. And again, deep breath in, and blow out. So I like to show people there's a lot of different myofascial techniques. There's assisted technique, which is what we did here with the table. There's this machine right here, okay? Then there's active release technique, which is what we did last time with your neck, the last 2 times. You teach virtual yoga classes online, right?
Yeah.
So at the end here of this video, we'll have to tell everybody your website if they wanted to book a yoga class.
Yeah.
Okay. A little bit of flexion distraction here, okay?
I love this.
This feels great, doesn't it?
Yeah, I love this.
It's a unique feeling. So what we're doing with this technique here is we're opening up the facet joints for all the vertebra below this hand right here. So in a way, it's kind of putting the spine into a little bit of flexion. A lot of people that sit all day for work really benefit from this. Also people with disc herniations, disc bulges, pinched nerves, anybody that's had surgery to their lower back, this is a really great technique, a very safe technique for any post-surgical back cases. Good. So with her, what we do is we do this just to open up the facet joints and kind of prep her for the adjustment. We're going to put her on our side and adjust her that way. Okay, we're going to have this side up. Slide that under the face this way. Okay, I'm going to bend this top leg here. Great. Pull this just like that and take a deep breath in and blow all the way out. And another deep breath in and blow all the way out. Good, and the other side up.
I don't always crack this way.
Not always. And that's just a byproduct of the adjustment.
I think it's because I do so much yoga that sometimes I crack myself this way, like just by accident.
Yeah, and that noise again, it's just gas cavitating from the joint. So
It's not the adjustment.
no, but sometimes it's a byproduct of it. And we all have gas inside the body, whether we like it or not. Deep breath in and blow out. Good, and on your stomach. Just push this paper down right in the center. Good. Now it's even. Okay, great. Great. Okay. All right, go ahead, take a deep breath in and blow all the way out. Now I'm going to have you lay on this side. Facing that way. Yeah. Okay, now we're going to do ART for your glute. So you remember this when you're going to kick your leg and touch that chair there with your toes, right? So go ahead and just do one leg motion. Yep, bring it back. Yep. Except you're going to keep your leg down here when you bring it back. Okay, go ahead. So you folks can see I'm contacting her glute, and this is active release technique. Good. This really helps to get a deep myofascial muscle release. Extremely effective.
Yeah,
But
it
you
really
need
is.
somebody else. You need somebody else that knows what they're doing to help you. Good. We're going to do both sides here. Tender there.
Yeah, more tender there.
Okay.
Yeah, right there.
And it gets tiring. It seems like you could do 20, 30 of them, but it's not that easy, is it?
No, not even for me.
Yeah.
Well, because you have someone pressing in
Okay,
on like
relax.
the
On the
muscle
glute.
you're working so hard.
Exactly. That's what
So it's
makes it so
weird.
much harder.
Yeah.
Mhm. Other side up.
But later it sinks in and it feels really good. Like the next day,
And even when you walk home on your way
Yeah,
home, you start to
it's
feel
just crazy.
loosening up. And,
you would never think that that would do what it does, but it
yeah,
does.
and all it takes is a few repetitions. So here, what we're going to do is have you, with your toes, touch the stool there, okay?
You wouldn't think that activating a muscle would help release it while someone's massaging it, you know, or while someone's pressing in on it. Because you think of like, you have to be passive to get that effect, but it actually really,
Yeah.
it's like you barely have to do any of these to get the feeling of it if you're really working the muscle.
And sometimes we have to help people passively move their leg, you know, if they're not able to. So. Good. A little sensitive right there. Not too
A
bad.
little bit more. Yeah, kind of.
Good.
The side's never as much.
Not as bad as the other side, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Now lay on your back. Straighten your legs up. And hands up in the air. Okay. now I'm gonna have you sit facing the camera. So you're gonna sit right here on this cushion. Okay, now we're gonna do active release technique with the muscles, the traps, and the muscles that we just released down here. We did two different techniques. We did the assisted release technique with the table. We did the little machine. And now we're going to do active release technique, ART. So go ahead, you're going to, you know the drill. You're going to actually tilt this way, yep. Okay. Good. You can just do a lateral bend. Good.
Spot.
Okay. Good.
But it's so much less tender than the first time. It's crazy.
Good. Let's see what the other side looks like.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's weird because the first time I did this, I could barely move this side. Now it's the other side that's more tender.
We were also focusing a little bit more on that side.
That was so intense.
That little knot we
Yeah.
just went over.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just the annoying
Actually
knot.
bend all the way towards this side. Yep. And go ahead.
But I feel like now you can really get in there, whereas before I couldn't even feel that nuance of depth, you know?
Mm-hmm. And again, yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's already.
Notice that knot has already moved.
Yep. Go away, knot.
And again. Go away, not to come back another day. Bad joke, okay.
Out. Down.
All right,
knot.
now we're gonna go sideways. So you were going side and forward. You're just gonna go straight sideways.
Okay.
Okay, and actually you're gonna go sideways and then look up that way, up here,
Okay.
the corner there. Go ahead. Not quite, so you're gonna do like this.
Oh, back.
Yeah.
Okay. Get in the way. I tell myself I'm going to bring a headband and then I forget.
Sorry.
That's okay.
Okay. And one more. Go ahead.
Oh, it was so lovely.
Okay. Now we're going to do this side. So let's start in the front. So this one you're going to do the same thing. You're going to go to the side and look up here in the corner.
Okay.
To the left. Okay. So back a little bit. Mhm.
Yeah, weirdly, I feel this always down the inside of my armpit,
Okay.
this shoulder pain. It's not as painful as I thought it would be.
Good. Alright. Now we're just going to do straight lateral, so ear to shoulder, and then ear to shoulder here.
Okay.
Okay. Go ahead. side and forward.
Yeah, this is the one when it starts to get to the back side that hurts more.
Okay.
And this one, it's like more in the front.
Are you sure about that? Because when I did the front here, you said you felt it into the armpit.
Yeah, from the back side though, I feel it under my armpit. Isn't that
Back
weird?
here, okay.
Yeah, like down my arm through like weirdly like the inside kind of.
Okay, you don't feel it now though, do you?
No, not at the moment, but I'll tell you what. Yeah, I can feel this one go down here.
Okay.
Kind of the pressure or something.
Okay.
When I do yoga movements with my arms both up over my head, this is the top part of my shoulder. When I press down on it and do that, it's like I can feel a soreness or something from under here, like a weird pain. It's not like a pain,
It
but
could be a pinched nerve also, right? So we have the brachial plexus right here, and that plexus of nerves runs down the arms,
yeah.
controls all the sensation in the arms, hands and fingers, and all the muscles. So right back here is the ulnar nerve. So let me know if you get that or if you get any tingling in your pinky,
Okay.
or tingling in the pinky in the morning when you wake up. Okay, ready? Go ahead. So forward and to the side. Yeah.
That's crazy that I could have another pinched nerve. I'm like, no.
Again. Good. And again. Good. Okay, lay on your back.
Do I have my ribs out?
Your cervical rib?
Yeah.
Haven't checked yet. Still looks hated though. C1 right there.
Okay, see when you press there on the whatever you just see one.
And then also there, right?
Yeah, that's where I get this like feeling of I remember my nerve, my pinched nerve pain.
That was your cervical rib right
That
there.
oh, it was out again.
Yeah. So I just adjusted that,
That was crazy.
and this one's not as bad. But it's not great either. Relax here.
Yeah, I really feel this old pain all the way down here, where that pinched nerve had me like out of my mind. So bummed because it held for like almost 2 weeks.
Yeah, you haven't had any arm issues for 2 weeks, right?
Except for last week, it kind of started to creep in. But I mean, my cervical
You had-
ribs weren't out for almost.
You
2
said that
weeks.
you thought you might have done a yoga pose that might have aggravated it though?
Yeah, last time I was here.
Sometimes we do need to do that. Sometimes we need to adjust on both sides. Sometimes just on one side.
'Cause this is always the side that really gets stuck.
Yeah, we don't just adjust the painful side, but we definitely adjusted the left side, both upper and lower. And we did the right side as well. We just did the first cervical rib on the right side. You may not feel as much of a release because we already adjusted you. This is another amazing feeling, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Just the way it releases all the tension in the back of the neck, the back of the head.
It's my favorite thing.
Great way to decompress the cervical spine, alleviate tension headaches, bulged, herniated discs, pinched nerves also in your neck. So this should help that arm pain that you have, okay?
I always get a weird crack like on my spine in here.
In the back though?
Yeah.
So your thoracolumbar region?
Yeah, like so low. It's crazy. Not always, but most of the time.
Did you feel it that time?
Yeah. And it's weird because I'm just really hypermobile, and so everything in me feels like it could crack. Like.
Yeah, you're very flexible. In
Yeah.
order for me to adjust your neck, I had to rotate your head all the way to the side.
Oh yeah.
More than
I'm like
most people.
They used to call me the exorcist in school because I could turn my head naturally so far to the side.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely have more flexibility than the average person, which.
Is good and bad.
Exactly. Yep.
Because if I'm not careful, then things just snap right out of place.
Well, one of the things to counteract that would be to do something like strength training
Yeah, yeah.
and lifting weights. And when you do that, what it'll do is it'll tighten those muscles up that may be a little bit too loose.
There's something right there.
There you go, that suboccipital trigger point right here. So this, remember I showed you how to use the lacrosse ball?
I did it last night, and it didn't really help. I was wondering if I was like doing it wrong.
You want to put it right there. Flatten your neck out, right? Tuck your chin in when you put the ball down here. You may have to hold the ball in place.
Yeah, I
And you
did.
just hold it right here until it subsides. It should take about 30 to 60 seconds. And deep breath in. Good.
So great.
And then you take it went away. Then you take the lacrosse ball and you put it on the next spot right there. And take deep breath in and out. And again, 30 to 60 seconds and it should subside.
Yeah, I guess I just didn't do it long enough because as soon as it hurt, I was like, oh no, it's wrong.
Oh yeah, you give or take 30
I'm
to 60
afraid.
seconds. And you
I'm
don't
very
want to do more
afraid
than that.
to touch this area on me because I'm
Okay.
like,
Don't be afraid. You'll be fine. Just don't keep it on there
It's
more
like,
than 60 seconds though. Okay? Because otherwise it gets really sore.
Yeah.
And deep breath in and out. This should subside in 30 to 60 again.
Like it feels like my neck wants you to take my head to that side and just like no.
We did this already on this. We adjusted
Feels like
C1
morning
and
cat.
C2 here.
Mhm.
We adjusted your first cervical rib there on the left.
And just crack
First
out.
cervical rib on the right. Now, if you feel your neck, it's moving really well.
Yeah.
Okay.
See myself a
We
little.
don't want to over adjust here.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, you're all set.